up. An attorney general candidate in Virginia is apologizing for his texts about a state lawmaker. We'll go through what the messages said.
He should probably be forced to withdraw from the race, and probably is doing a lot there.
All right, Morning Joe will be right back.
It never fails. It's always a Democrat or a Democrat nominee who does something so despicable, and they insist they're not dropping out of the race. This time we speak of Mr. Jay Jones, a Democrat nominee running to become Virginia's next Attorney General. And he's running on, of course, law enforcement, making communities safer, making the state safer, and going to court and winning battles against people who think that they can defeat the state of Virginia. Well, Mr. Jones, I imagine, never expected there's some text messages he sent, and they all say they were private texts, but he sent them back in 2022. He sounds like he's a loose cannon. He sounds like he has some screws loose in his head, and he should not be in the running for anything but mental health counseling or a jail cell. Here's Mr. Jay Jones, I should say. I don't want to offend anybody. Doing a brief interview with a news channel, and the interviewer asked him about those text messages.
Hi, I'm Jay Jones, Democrat running for Attorney General of Virginia, and we're going to talk about public safety. As the son of prosecutors and the father of 2 young boys, I've always believed that keeping our communities safe is the most important responsibility of any Virginia leader. And this week, I'm releasing my public safety plan. As Attorney General, I'll focus the office on stopping violent crime, supporting victims, and protecting our kids, not the MAGA extremism we're getting from Jason Miyares.
You said, according to the article, I'm quoting, Gilbert's wife could watch her own child die in her arms so that Gilbert might reconsider his political views. I can think of nothing more horrific than a mother having to hold her dying child. How can Virginians trust a man who said something so horrific so callously?
Well, again, I am so deeply, deeply sorry for what I said, and I wish that it hadn't happened, and I would take it back if I could.
And of course, he's so sorry, and if he could take it back, he would. He didn't mean to send them. That's not what he really wants to happen. But he said he wanted to see a child die in its mother's arms. Yes, that came from the Democrat AG nominee, Jay Jones. Mr. Jones sounds to me that he has a tendency for violence, or he likes violence a little too much. In August 2022, Jones wrote about shooting then Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert in text messages he sent to Republican State Delegate Carrie Conoyer. The texts were first reported by the National Review and subsequently viewed by the Washington Post, and they went something like this: 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot, Jones wrote. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head over Hitler and Pol Pot. Mr. Jones wanted to take out the Speaker of the Virginia House of Representatives. Then, during a conversations with Conoyer, where he invoked the death of Gilbert's children and said it might cause the then Speaker to change his political views. This is someone who wants the voters of Virginia to entrust him with making their state and communities safe. Jay Jones, who has these violent thoughts in his head, wants to be the Attorney General and claims he's pro-law enforcement and claims he's going to do everything in his power to make every city and community in Virginia safe. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's full of shit. The man is a loose cannon, and he should not be in a running again for anything but mental health counseling. Every Republican in Virginia is calling for him to step aside. The gubernatorial nominee, she's calling for him to step aside. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, is calling for him to step aside. It's just so disgusting that the party that preaches love and unity has someone in it that thinks thoughts like this about children dying, other political opponents dying. And we all know the Democrats love going after their political opponents, but not in that fashion. This man fantasizes about murdering people. He fantasizes about political opponents' children dying in the arms of their mother. This is a man who, quite frankly, should be investigated by law enforcement. I believe every single electronic device he has in his possession should be taken and examined, if you will, to see what else he talks about or what he searches online. You don't just think violent thoughts like that out of the blue. This is something this man has been doing, in my opinion, his entire adult life, and maybe even as a juvenile. The problem here is, most likely, he's not going to step aside, and Democrat voters, being that they don't believe anything bad about any Democrat candidate, will probably elect him to become Attorney General. And then what happens? He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He can try to cut law enforcement if he wants, because after all, he's a defund the police Democrat. He can basically say anything, and no one is going to blink an eye, because how dare you believe that Mr. Jones actually thought that, or actually thought that he was going to do that? It was all a fantasy. It was never real. He's such a peaceful man, and he would never wish harm on anyone, especially his political opponents. This campaign that he is in should insist, the Democrats of Virginia should insist that he end his run to be the AG, that he seek some serious mental health counseling, and again, he should be investigated by law enforcement for even writing that in a text message. Okay? If you think it, it's one thing, but if you're texting it to another person, that rises to a whole new level of sickness. These Democrats of today, and I've said this a million times, they live in such a dark place, they can't even see their hand in front of their own eyes. And this man right here, right now, today, tops my list of Democrats living in darkness. They're evil, they have no soul, and they wish harm and violence on their political opponents and think nothing of it, and then say, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it. If I could take it back, I would. And if you saw that brief clip, he didn't even look concerned. I believe that he actually thinks it's funny. But I also believe that he didn't think it was going to come out so close to an election in November. Remove him, investigate him, get him counseling. The man has an illness, thinking thoughts like that of extreme violence against children and a political opponent. And he needs to be removed from that election or step down immediately.